Hello everyone, welcome to CISA This Much. This is Aditya, and today we have with us CA Sai Krishna Gupta, who has recently qualified his CISA exam. So, Sai, first of all, heartiest congratulations for clearing the exam. So,
Thank you very
how
much,
do you feel?
Aditya.
How do you feel? I think it's more than a month, right? You have cleared the exam.
It's been more than a month. Yes, yes.
It's been more than a month. Okay. So, Sai,
Yeah,
can you introduce yourself in a brief to all our audience?
sure, definitely, Aditya. So, hello everyone. So, I'm Sai Krishna. So, I'm a chartered accountant based out of India. So, I qualified in 2017. After qualifying CA, I joined Infosys. So, I have worked for Infosys for 3.5 years in SAP implementations. After that, I joined PwC as an assistant manager in enterprise technology solutions. After working for around 1 year in PwC, I got opportunity in Deloitte UAE. So currently, I'm working with Deloitte UAE as an IT auditor.
Okay. So, Sai, what made you do CISA after your CA? So, after CA, we have so many opportunities. Nowadays, there are so many international certifications, international degrees, all those. So, what made you choose CISA?
Okay. So I'll just a little bit give, about my background. So since childhood, I was a tech savvy. Means like I was very much interested towards gadgets. Okay, gadgets, softwares. Even when Android was introduced, okay, when I had the smartphone in 2011, I used to root it. So to have all advanced customization features. So I was very focused towards IT. So that's why Infosys was my dream company when I was pursuing CA. So hence, like immediately after qualifying CA, I got selected in Infosys through campus placements. So at Infosys, I was working on multiple SAP implementation projects. So in SAP implementation project, what happens is you will have to configure, okay, multiple controls in the system, okay, based on purchase process, sales process, everything you have to configure in the system for it to be make as ready to the end user. So immediate after pursuing in Infosys for 3.5 years, what I realized was I was missing the taste of audit. So before qualifying CA, we would do articleship under chartered accountant for 3.5 years, right? We would do multiple audits. But after working for 3 years in Infosys, I was missing the taste of audit, but I had an experience in SAP. So combining both SAP experience and audit experience that I had earlier. So I thought of getting into IT audit. I knew I got to know that there is something called IT audit, and I forayed into IT audit. So that's how I joined PwC. So after working for 1 year, so I got a good grasp of it. And after that, I joined Deloitte in UAE. So here, immediately after joining Deloitte, like I started preparing for CISA extensively. So finally, I cleared in last month.
Okay. Yeah. And one more thing. So, before clearing CISA, you were already working as an IT
Yes,
auditor, right?
correct.
So what
In
will be your
PwC,
yeah, in PwC, yeah. So what
right.
will be your piece of advice to people who who ask me that should we first pursue CISA and then think about entering in IT audit, or first we should enter in that particular field, we should try to look for a job in that particular sector, and then afterwards, after entering in IT audit, then we can they should plan for CISA certifications, or should they do it before, before entering, like what?
Yeah, it actually depends on the number of years of experience that we have. Let's say a chartered accountant has just recently passed. Okay, to get into IT audit, it is just like to get into stat audit or internal audit, right? IT audit is also just like a based on choice. Okay, you can just join as a fresher, like associate or senior associate. In many big fours, they take. But then if you want to enter as assistant manager, if you want to enter as senior associate too, okay, which is like a mid-senior position, you should have some kind of background. So this background could be either from IT audit, that which is very straight. So this background could be from SAP implementations. Okay. So when you have not even SAP or Oracle or JD Edwards, any kind of ERP implementations, they consider people from implementation background because they know, okay, what kind of configurations should be present in the system. Okay, all they need to have is the risk and controls mindset. A chartered accountant will typically have a risk and control mindset because he must have done audits before. Okay, So when you do audits, you have that risk and controls mindset. So with the knowledge of the configurations in system, okay, and also that risk and mindset, they accept chartered accountants who are in SAP implementation background as IT auditors.
Correct, correct. I think you
And
have, yes, yes.
yeah, so it's like even if you do CISA, right, immediately after qualifying CISA, even if you do CISA, you may not be entering in the entry level position because you must be having a quite theoretical knowledge, good theoretical knowledge. So you'd be entering in mid senior positions.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with your points, and in fact, you have very beautifully explained everything. And okay, so you were, I mean, while studying for CISA, you were already working, right? And in fact, you
Yes,
shifted, from India to like UAE,
right,
okay, in between, okay.
correct.
So how you were able to manage your studies, and how many hours you were studying, and was there any difficulty in your studying process, and how much time did it take for you to finish from the scratch, from the start till till clearing the exam?
Effectively, it took around 3 months actually. So I would like to tell straightly that had this mobile app feature was not there, it would have taken more than 3 months. Okay, only because that mobile app feature is present. So whenever I was working, right, obviously we cannot study. But during our free time when we go out, right, we should. I mean, evenings we go out for refreshment. Okay, since there is a mobile app, right, I was just carrying my mobile, just plugging in my earphones and just listening to your lectures. Okay, that's how I could finish the syllabus on time. So because of which I could complete the CISA in 3 months, and also with the mock test that you have in the app, right? So I was able to solve them completely. Okay, and also with the help of CISA QA 1,000 questions, right? So I was able to solve them in 3 months.
Okay, I would like to repeat one thing which you told, that during his break time. So I know many people who are working in Big Four, and they are pursuing CISA since past 1 year, and they didn't get
Yeah.
time to give the exam. So they are saying, we want one more month, like that. They are delaying the process. So I have
Mm.
to ask these people, okay, please go and appear for the exam. So these people, they are just delaying the exam. So they are saying that they don't
Exam,
get
right?
time. So the thing is that you won't get time, because and once you start working, definitely, even on weekends also,
You will not get
you won't like feel like working, because Monday to Friday you have worked a lot, and you'll feel like to enjoy during weekends. But the thing is that you have to take your time, especially whenever you can, like even during your lunch breaks also, lunch breaks, evening break, whatever, I mean, like even if you study like for 1.5 hour every day, you can easily finish the entire course, within like from max to max 4 to 5 months. Yeah.
That's exactly
So
right. Yeah.
yeah. So next question is, how was your experience, overall experience with us?
So it was very good. So as I was telling you, right? So with the syllabus, with the content that you have, right? With the content that you have explained, with the kind of examples that he gave, okay, while explaining all the concepts, and also with the help of question and answers that we solved during the class itself. Okay, most of them were like from CISA QA itself, and also with the kind of that mindset that you explain, how one should have, like we should have ISACA mindset. We should think how ISACA thinks while solving questions. I will just take a small example. Whenever there is some option called documentation, we should be least bothered about that option. Okay, as much as possible, we should avoid that option. So we have these techniques. I mean, you have explained all such techniques and explained the syllabus, okay, in a very good fashion. So that's how I was able to interpret it, and I could finish the exam successfully in one go.
Yeah. So okay, the next question, and then I think this is last question. What would be your last message to all the people who are watching, who are currently studying for CISA, all the future, maybe the future CISA aspirants who are currently watching this video? What would be your last piece of advice to them?
Okay, I would always advise to plan well. So when you are, I mean, it doesn't matter if you are scheduling exam date or not scheduling exam date, and then you are studying. Okay. So all it matters is you just have to plan well. You have 5 chapters in CISA. So you have to accordingly sort out on each day how much syllabus should I complete. Okay. So accordingly, once you complete each chapter, you have to go back to CISA Q&A and solve all the question and answers related to that. So while solving question and answers also, don't just answer the questions. Okay, read the options. There are narratives that are explained in the options, why each option should be considered, and why each option, why a particular option was not considered. Okay, so even from that you will get to have you will get the knowledge, like what is the concept is all about. Okay, I have seen there were many options under many questions where I got lots of knowledge, to be honest. So I had to note them, in my notepad, and before exam I had to revise them again. Okay, so when you just note down everything, right, and just before the day of exam when you revise, so you would typically cover everything from CISA Q&A. So whatever was easy, so that must have already stored in your mind, and okay, you must have already answered it, and no need to revise them. But there would be few concepts which would be difficult. Okay, so it's better to note them and revise them constantly. So that's how you'd be able to, and you have to plan well. So you have to plan well and prepare well accordingly, then you can effectively attempt into the exam.
Okay, okay. So, Sai, thank you for joining us, and thank you for sharing your experience and helping the
Thank you very
people
much,
all over the
Satya.
world. Okay.